What changed?
My sister married one of the few Christians that I could stand. He never talked down to me. He never preached to me, but he would discuss with me. Mm-hmm. And he knew that we were religious before I had turned around and walked away from God. And he would just talk with me. And he was one of the only people that I liked that was following Christ. And my sister decided that I was such a bad person or a sinner or however you want to put it. She kept asking me, would you go to church? And sometimes she wouldn't even ask. She just told me, you need to find God. Whenever I'd have problems, right, she says, you need to find God. And he never said that to me, but he'd just kind of, shrug a little bit and smile and look. My sister told me about this church, Verve, and she goes, you really should try this. It's a brand new church. And I said, no. And she goes, well, they play rock and roll music. And her husband's behind her, and he's standing, and he's smiling, he's nodding. And I'm like, no, it's really not something I want to do. And she goes, well, there's a lot of really young, cool people. And he's standing behind her, and he's still smiling and nodding. And I'm like, no, it's not something I want to do. And she goes, there's a lot of really cute girls there. And Mike's still smiling. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe if he's smiling and nodding, I'll think about it. Kind of dropped it for a week, and then she asked me again. And she stated it this way: if you go with me one time, I will never ask you again. And that still wasn't good enough for me. I told her, I tell you what, I will go if you go out with me to a bar and drink with me. Because she hadn't drank in probably 18 years. And I figured if she was going to make me uncomfortable, I was going to make her just as uncomfortable.
Right.
And she agreed to it. She called my bluff out.
Praise God.
Yeah. However, I had ulterior motives. I decided, well, crap, since I've got to go to church, I'm going to make it my terms. And she had told me that this church was brand new, maybe 30 or 40 people in a service. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have some fun with this. When I initially came to Verve, I was going to be the first person kicked out of here. I was going to cause trouble. I was going to throw chairs in the middle of the service. I was going to call everybody out, tell them how stupid they were for believing what they were believing them, mm-hmm. and just show them, look, this is my life right now, and I'm doing whatever I want, and it's fine, and it's great, and it's dandy, and you guys are stupid. You're cattle. You're being herded. You're nothing but followers. Make up your mind. Come to your senses. That's what I wanted to do. And
how'd that go for you?
Well, it went great up until I walked through the front door. I honestly,
the whole plan in your mind?
I honestly feel like I had Satan right beside me up to the front door, and then when I walked through, I was like, okay, this is as far as I could go. You got this now. And I walked through the front door, and the first thing was I noticed the music playing, and I thought, okay, well, this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll just see what's happening. And some honestly really friendly people said hi to me, and you can tell when people are not being sincere.
Sure.
These people were sincere, and I thought, okay, well, they've got some nice people working out front, and I was ready for the crosses and statues and candles and holy water and the pews, and I walked in and it was chairs and it was black and red building that looked like half the clubs I had gone out and gotten drunk in the last week. Looked up on the screen and they had some comedy things, some funny slides and stuff, and I thought, okay, this is kind of funny. The band came out and opened and played a song that I knew, and I knew it wasn't Christian rock because I had just seen the band in concert a few months before, and definitely not Christian rock. And I was like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. And I failed to realize that I had already forgotten what I had come there for, what my plan was. And I ended up listening to the sermon, and it was entertaining, and it was something that was said in it touched my heart, and I kind of thought, wow, you know what, that is how I feel.
Yeah.
And when I left, my sister goes, it wasn't so bad, was it? And I'm like, well, I'm really not decided, but I am going to come back next week, and I'm going to check it out, because I thought maybe maybe this is all pulled over on me. Maybe this was some sort of intervention that she had put together, and I'm going to show them it's really cool, and then once we get them looped in, we're going to go back to the way it really is. And I ended up coming the next week and enjoying it again, and then the next week and enjoying it again, and this is, I believe, my 60th week.
That's crazy. Now
And I haven't missed it.
Yeah.
Now I'm serving, and I wake up early on Sunday mornings. No matter how late I've been out partying, I will wake up and I will come serve. I come serve on Monday nights, and I live a long ways away. I'm 45 minutes one way to and from, and I can't get enough of it. Somebody from Verve calls me, or it doesn't even have to be somebody I know. They'll call up and they'll say, my neighbor's moving, they need a hand. Can you show up? I'll say, yeah, let me get a few of the other guys, and we'll be there in just a second, and we'll go do it. And it's
just want to show people love, right?
just showing them love. It's cool. It's really changed me.
I remember was it the first baptism service or the second?
It was the second baptism service.
So you got baptized there, and
Yes, I
we
did.
all know that it was just it was an amazing transformation for you
I broke down.
to go through that.
I broke down. I lost it. I confessed to everybody my original plans that I had in store for Verve and against Christians, and I lost it. I felt before I was going to be baptized, I should tell the truth about who I was and why I was here and why I had changed.
Yeah.
And the second I came up from underneath the water, I lost it. I had changed immediately. I knew that giving my life to God was the absolute 100% correct thing to do. It still chokes me up. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 280 pounds.
And you're a fire-breathing clown.
Fire-breathing clown. I'm not the guy you want to run into in a dark alley. Actually, now I am.
Sure.
Before,
Right.
I was not the guy you wanted to run into a dark alley. Now, if you're in a dark alley, you better hope I'm with you.
Yeah. And Jesus is there too with you.
Jesus has got my back. I don't worry about anything now.
It's crazy, man.
It's awesome.
It's cool. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, one more thing.
What's up?
I told you I gotten the cross covered up.
Yeah.
My most recent tattoo,
Let's see what it is.
I had to get.
Right there.
I've actually got a glow-in-the-dark cross, and as you can tell, it's coming out of my skin,
That's
which
cool.
means it's actually been there the entire time. I just didn't realize it. And that's my latest tattoo. So it's back. It's back where it belongs, and this time it's right over my heart. So
Praise God, man. Thank you.
praise God.